Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am your master of ceremonies. My name is Shikha Singh. To recognize some of the promising brands for the financial year 2022-23, we take a moment and acknowledge our wonderful array of partners, our knowledge and research partner, Coherent Market Insights. Let's also thank our supporting associations, Digital Health India Association. Thank you to the Entrepreneurs Association of India, Maharashtra Industry Development Association, Digital Security Association of India, our media partners, Times Tech, our education partner, Bennett University. Thank you to our insightful partner, ET Insights. Well, this event is conceptualized and executed, as you know, by ET Edge. So thank you again. We'll talk about the startup opportunity, a renaissance of the Indian economy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Apurva Palkar, the Vice Chancellor, Maharashtra State Skills University.
Good evening, everyone. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be here. It's very easy to say and speak about the startup ecosystem, saying that we are redefining the way economy would be in times to come. Nations have been built on startup ecosystem. And we all are aware of the fact that we stand at number 3. And the journey has been really long, trying to kind of reach out to what US has done, what China has done, and currently what India is trying to do. Connecting the startup ecosystem to the economy, the most important thing that comes in front of all of us is the funding that gets pumped into the startup ecosystem, and that is what is the driver of the economy. And it is estimated that we would surely have at least a contribution of 4 to 5% to the GDP through the startup ecosystem. If we are able to do so, I think startups will do wonders in terms of change that the country, the city, the region, the state is looking at from the whole economy, and the economy will change. The role that Maharashtra State Skills University like ours, the universities like ours, is trying to play is how do we bring an innovative thought and culture in the students in the university system so that they think differently. Thank you so much.
Well, that was Dr. Apurva Palkar. On that note, we will enter into a leaders' dialogue that will conquer the future versus conquering the future. Promising leaders and businesses today, they will come forward, share their experiences of creating, sustaining compelling experiences in their respective sectors.
When it comes to jewelry, how did you actually break the barrier? Because this was all about touch and feel. This was all about trust, getting into a store, because we are talking about gold, diamond, etc. How did you break that barrier?
Yeah, so initially it was difficult. For India, it was one of the few companies that we started, started in jewelry space. The ticket price, the trust factor were fairly low for buying jewelry online. And to break this, the first most important thing was the certification and hallmarking on all the products that we sell. From a trust factor perspective, that was catered to. But touch and feel is what you rightly said, was lacking when we were only online. And hence we moved to an omni-channel approach wherein we had our own try at home, our website, and our exclusive brand outlets working in tandem.
I think, Param, let me ask you this question. Is the West open to embracing Ayurveda? And what is the role of the branding which you have created, the look, feel? Did that make a difference?
So, there were a lot of problems before, we wanted to start. One, definitely creating a global brand is the biggest goal, because the ultimate goal is that if large beauty, personal care, wellness brands from the West come to India, so in that, the branding, the positioning, the content, the communication, everything has a very important role to play. So it was important that we change the entire positioning of the category. That how do we ensure that Ayurveda is perceived as safe, it's perceived as effective, it is perceived as highly powerful when it competes with the larger science-backed or the larger behemoths like L'Oreal, Garnier, or the HUL portfolio of the world. So our job started from giving that new age touch, feel, experience, positioning, and then taking it through multi-channel.
What are the interdependencies when it comes to this entire ecosystem with the product? How is it supporting you?
The customer is no longer just offline or online. The customer is in multiple sort of paradigms, and as a brand or as or as products, we need to be where the customer is. Right now, what we've done with our whole content community and creator moats, Amarjit, is that we've said, okay, can we use all our social platforms? Can we use our amazing content powerhouses, which include brands like PopXO, Scoop Whoop, Miss Malani, Tweak, of course, Baby Chakra, right? To actually talk to audiences, engage them, talk about the value proposition, the mission, the brand purpose of our products, and get that out there for consideration, right, on people's smartphones. Right? And then when you get the consideration, they actually show up on our D2C platform, and we are the largest D2C play. It's something that we were in a way lucky, but also hopefully strategic, because we got access to these very large content and community bases very early on. Now, for someone to start building it from scratch again is a very uphill battle, as you'd imagine.
On that note, we will go ahead and explore the early stage investing masterclass. Well, this would be taken care by the founder of Dr. Vaidya's and Ventures lead, Verlin West. Please welcome Arjun Vaidya on the stage.
I think early stage founders put a lot of time, effort, energy into their business. They run a lot of things, and I ran a lot of things in my business as well. But you cannot build a highly scalable business without a team. And so if I'm looking at early stage investment, I'm also looking to see that other than the founder, are there people in that organization that I can back? Are there people in that organization that I can work with to take the organization forward? Because compounding does not happen with one person or two people, right? Compounding only happens when there's an empowered team. I'll also tell you a few things that I try to ensure that I don't do, or a lot of investors don't do when they're making an investment. The first thing is personal bias, right? Especially when I invest in the consumer space. A lot of times, just because I consume a product doesn't mean it's a huge opportunity. The second thing is that first impressions, right? And bias that comes from first impressions can be very, very, very dangerous, right? You meet a founder, they're having a bad day, their presentation may not be in the way you wanted, they may not be talking with the enthusiasm that you wanted, but that doesn't determine my decision. And so I always ensure that I ask the right questions, I give the founder time, I give the founder the effort that they require to get the presentation on the message across. The third thing that I ensure I don't do, and specifically for all of you who are looking to invest capital, at least in the private market, is make your own decision based on your own decision and not based on the FOMO of who else is investing. And the last and most important thing about this business is, while it's really important to choose the right investments, it's also really important to do it with other people. The early stage ecosystem is a beautiful, beautiful, strong ecosystem that comes together. And so relationships with other people in the ecosystem is really, really important.
This fireside chat and the discussion that's going to come forward towards all of you, ladies and gentlemen, will redefine the craft of brand building.
How do we look at redefining the brand and the craft of building brand? Now, in these times, when brand building and any new business proposition existence is so difficult, how companies are taking it up? Let's hear first from Deepa.
You have to be obsessed with the consumer. A lot of people talk about what's competition doing, and my theory is, and Netflix has famously said that sleep is their biggest competitor. I'd say that if you snooze on the consumer, you lose. So be obsessed with the consumer, which means everybody in the organization should be only working to make the consumer's life better. Many times marketers get bored of their campaigns far sooner than the consumers. But the campaigns that we all remember, for example, are the Titan jingle or things that are timeless. Like look at Amul, right? I mean, fantastic stuff. It's not a marketing head who suddenly come and said, oh, let me do something because I want to leave my stamp. No, that's not the way brands are built. You have to be true to the brand promise and really persevere. And tell new stories, but don't try and change what the brand stands for just because you're bored or you have a new team which wants to create an impact.
How do you manage these social media interactions to reinforce your brand promise and still being more connected with the customer, building your brand further?
We believe we understand our TG, and we know that being internet-first companies, this TG is also going to be updated with everything that's internet-first. Social media is the most leading indicator of this. The memes that we might run on social media to the T-shirt that our delivery partners would be wearing to come and deliver it to you. Every touch point, every representation of the brand there speaks a certain story. It's very important that we respond to tweets, to comments, to customer service support in the manner, language that is consistent to the brand.
What sort of message you would have for the younger audience here or the new businesses who are trying to build a stellar brand in such changing time?
I think be courageous. It's okay to fail. And, when you're young, you can fail even more. I don't think you're going to ever regret your failures because you will then know how you can push the envelope. So I would say fail more.
Mark Zuckerberg said that move fast and break barriers. Today you have the tools to move really, really fast and break barriers. So use all of the tools and move really, really fast. That's the only thing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is very important for brands to innovate and adapt based on the market requirement. So we focus on 4 key aspects. One is price to performance ratio, which is a differentiator for us. Second, directly connecting with the consumers through our social media and Fan Connect. Third is innovation and agility, which helps us move ahead of our competition. And fourth is durability and quality, which is a basic hygiene checkpoint for any brand.
The financial services world is a fast-changing one. New services continue to emerge and the channels of delivery keep getting better as well. But the fundamental aspect that shouldn't change is what the brand stands for. At EQ, for example, we handle 37 million shareholders and we handle a significant amount of client money. At the core of the brand is the quality of service that we deliver and the trust we instill, because people need to have the confidence that their money or their share certificates are safe with us, will not be misused, etc. But it doesn't happen overnight. This trust, this confidence in the brand happens over decades of hard work, continue to focus, and most importantly, only promising what we deliver. If there's any dissonance between the brand positioning and the actual services that are being rendered, it will be caught out very, very quickly by the customers and will do lasting damage to the brand.
Building a promising brand involves a multifaceted approach that includes several key aspects. Firstly, defining a clear brand identity, which involves your values, mission, and vision. Also, consistency across all your communications helps establish trust and recognition. Moreover, understanding your target audience needs is essential for tailoring your products and services. And one of the most important part is the marketing strategy. Incorporating both online and offline channels, it is crucial to reach and engage to your audience.
I think to build a promising brand, there has to be a promise of a strong value and excellence, and we've invested heavily into it. We started with a very robust and a huge kitchen, one of the biggest in the city, apart from Flight Kitchen. 25,000 square feet, and we went, I think, a step further. We've got segregations of veg, non-veg. We understand the client requirements. We further segregated a Jain kitchen within a veg kitchen, and that's a USP which not many kitchens in Mumbai would have. Like I said, we are very guest-centric. Our focus has been on client satisfaction, and that's what we invested in and made sure that we are there for everything that a client expects. Starting with a team of chefs who have experience in luxury hotels, in state banquets, international destinations. They come with a huge experience and with capability to do cuisines, local, international, anything that the client wants. Our service is all about experience. It's not about food, it's not about service, but a whole experience that a client would want to remember and create memories of for every event that he has with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we go ahead, this is the time that our esteemed guest of honor will grace the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind applauses, can we very, very warmly welcome on the stage Shri N. Naveen Sona, the Secretary, Public Health Department, Government of Maharashtra, with a beautiful round of cheer.
Pleasure to be part of this ET Edge conference and awards ceremony. Public health is a very big sector. Now we are looking at providing universal health care to close to 12 crore citizens of Maharashtra. But healthcare has gone into a major change, especially in the last so many years. The whole world is going towards preventive healthcare. This is one of the key focus of our Honorable Prime Minister. We have the Ayushman Bharat health mission. We are slowly shifting from a adverse event-based model towards a preventive long-term healthcare model. The key of all of this, I think, is coming to one main thing, which is patient-centric care. There are very cleverly done brands who are some of the top private sector healthcare brands. They are able to welcome the patient in their own mother tongue. And people are coming from African countries and Gulf countries to our hospitals. You see the sensitivity in culture, in religion. Hence, brand building is not coming from outside the hospital, but is intrinsic. It comes from the working culture and the organization of the hospital itself. And I think India has shown to the world that what is brand building, because India itself is one of the greatest brands we have built. Our Honorable Prime Minister has proven at the G20 that this is a success story of great brand building, and we have been taken very seriously.
It is time for a special session, digital juggling, the art of simultaneously educating and entertaining.
When I approach the Mumbai police and tell them that why don't they get launched, they said, what is launching on social media? They really didn't know what I was talking about. When we are trying to launch anything new, I think it's very important that we come fully prepared for all the good and bad that's going to come our way. The success of Mumbai Police is also based on all the key points that we have discussed through the conversation this evening. They had to really win the trust of people. And I think the lack of trust that was massive amongst people for the police department, it was also because there was no access to them. When we saw on social media, we saw that people were discussing a lot about Mumbai Police, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And I think the use of humor, which is the most popular aspect that developed over a period of time on the Mumbai Police handle, most of the police department, government organizations, I think it's a kind of format that was set 2015 onwards, that was adapted and is still being adapted by various such offices, the public serving offices, where people never even thought they would get to have a one-to-one conversation with their officials, but they are now really cracking jokes to crack people up. And I think that has really shown the human side of police department or any government office or officials.
This is the time that they will talk about trust. If I were to ask you what is the DNA of every brand's success, I am sure that we univocally say that it is the trust.
Trust is an intangible value. So in your experience, you worked with numerous brands over the years. How would you say that, what's the right way to measure trust?
The interaction and the experience which you have with people allow them to place trust on you. Correct? You join your college and within 3 days you have one friend who's close to you than the rest of the 40. Why so? It's the same thing with brands also. Today, it takes few seconds for 30 comments or 100 comments or 200 comments to come below your clip which you have played on YouTube or any other channel. So that's the speed at which things are going. But the basics are the same. I need to interact with you. I must like you. I must be able to trust you, the way you behave, the way you dress, the way you talk, your mannerisms should attract me and then make me feel comfortable with you. Then I'm willing to trust my credit card with you.
Brands are kind of having to walk a thin line, because on one side they might just risk getting boycotted. The other side, they need to be careful of sentiments. Are they really that open to speak their mind? And in such a scenario, how do you see them building trust?
Forget about trust. Even to get attention in a group meeting, you must have a point of view. If you have a point of view, and that point of view is what will attract people towards you. And then as a brand, as an individual, if you carry that point of view with you strongly, and then people will follow you. Why brands have following, great brands live, why Tatas have following, why certain brands, Nike has following, why Tesla is following. A lot of people hate Tesla. A lot of people love Tesla because they have a point of view of the world. And that is where the brands should belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's usher in the coffee table book launch for the promising brands. We will request our guest of honor, Shri Sona, to kindly launch the promising brands coffee table book. And with all your applauses, let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our promising brand 2023, Anamind. And our next promising brand is Artistry. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, this time kick it up a notch to welcome Brew and Bliss. On that note, let's march ahead. The illustrious recognition of being the promising brand up next goes to Evolus Card Printer India. Please give it up for Fibros up next. Congratulations. Up next, our promising brand 2023. We are recognizing Grow. Congratulations. And with that, we will go ahead and celebrate our next promising brand. Movin Express, congratulations. Our next promising brand is, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Nesco Foods. Put on all your energies to welcome our next promising brand. Please give it up for Nykaa, ladies and gentlemen. Our next promising brand, Oracura, this is for you. Can we have you on the stage, please? Our next promising brand, give it up for Pipeline Infrastructure. Our next promising brand, give it up for Poco India. Our next promising brand of 2023 is Rebel Foods. Well, our next promising brand is Sinhoy Advisory Services. Congratulations. Next up, let's celebrate our promising brand, Solex Energy. Congratulations. Our next promising brand, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Swiggy. Our next promising brand, Tiscon Ready Built. We next up celebrate our promising brand, An Academy. Congratulations to you. On that note, our next promising brand is Veranda IAS. Get ready to celebrate the promising brand. Up next, Veranda Fire. Congratulations. Thank you very much for being a part, and congratulations to all the recipients.